Hey everyone, my name is Olga and I'm happy to see you here in this new video. And today we are gonna have a full face using only Makeup Revolution. So take a seat and let's start. Our first product for today is gonna be a bright light 4-in-1 face glow in shade medium light. And being honest, I thought that it would be slightly lighter, but actually it's not. Okay, it happens, so we are gonna apply it directly on face. And yeah, the shade is slightly dark and it's a combo of something orange plus a leaf. And if you want to see something lighter, and the first shade, actually it's slightly pink. That's why I decided not to take it, because I don't have pink undertone, so it shouldn't work for me. But this shade is dark, so it seems slightly strange. Okay, anyway, we are gonna apply it. I'm grabbing a little bit of a product on my hand and gonna apply it using the brush for sure. I don't have anything on my skin except skincare, and let's start applying. For sure it's not my shade, but as I'm gonna apply foundation over it, it doesn't that matter. Easy to blend, and well, the product itself is quite nice, and it reminds me a product from Catrice and from Elf. They seem familiar, but I would say pigmentation here is higher. It's low, it's still low, but slightly higher than in the products from Catrice and Elf. Finish is slightly dewy, and actually I like it, and in my personal opinion it's more a makeup base and not a foundation. And now we are gonna apply a foundation which is called Skin Silk in shade 6. It should be more or less my shade, but we are gonna try it and we are gonna check it out. Plus, because of our makeup base, it should appear slightly darker on my skin, but still, it's not that matter. By the way, it's slightly dewy as well. Okay, it's not a problem, and actually I like such products, but they don't work in case of oily prone skin. Easy to apply, easy to blend, coverage, it's average around it. Doesn't emphasize skin texture. Smells fine. I haven't applied a concealer yet. Gonna do it right now, but first of all I wanna show you the way the foundation looks like. I like it. It looks beautiful. It's not visible on skin, it doesn't emphasize skin texture, it even blurs the pores slightly. And yeah, it's beautiful, but it definitely wouldn't work in case of oily prone skin because it's too glowy for oily prone skin. And moreover, today I have extreme glow just simply because I used these two products. But in case of dry prone skin, it's a good choice. Looks beautiful. But by the way, if you have dehydrated skin, maybe it's not your choice because it's not that super nourishing. It's so thin and it's so easy to blend this product. I'm impressed. It looks beautiful. Time for a cream bronzer, and when I was filming swatches, I was extremely impressed by this product. The texture is so creamy and it should be quite easy to blend this product. Grabbing a little bit, and by the way, the shade itself is also quite nice. It should work in case of warm and neutral undertones. If we talk about cold undertone, a bronzer is not your choice. You should use a contour. So grabbing a little bit and take a look. Pigmentation is between average and high. Everything depends how much product you're gonna take. Just, oh gosh, it's so easy to blend it. And you see, the shade is also quite nice. Yes, for sure it contains a little bit of red, a little bit of orange, but it's not super orange as it may happen time to time. I would say it's more neutral at some point, and it contains a little bit of green. Just a little bit, but it contains it. So yes, definitely yes. And by the way, it reminds me slightly a product from NARS and from Catrice. If you wanna layer, you can layer. Isn't it great? I'm in love. I'm obsessed. Yeah, it's really gorgeous. I didn't expect to see this, and it looks so beautiful on skin. Now it's time to try Mousse blush in which shade? Soft pink. And by this product, I'm not that impressed. It's quite nice. The texture itself is so creamy and looks beautiful, but the shade seems slightly pale, at least in my case. Not really pale, it's light for me, and it seems like it has a slightly white base. So this shade should work in case of cold undertone. In other cases, just take a look. By the way, it's slightly dewy as far as I can see. But in other cases, the shade most likely is no. Just, you see? I can see white base. It's not good at all. Especially if you have warm undertone, and I have warm undertone. So the texture is nice, it's easy to work with it, it's easy to blend it, but the shade itself is not mine. But still, the texture, probably I should try another shade. At least I can try to find it in real life, but I'm not quite sure that I will be able to do it. Maybe in Douglas? I don't know. Time for a liquid highlighter. It's called Serum Highlighter Pro Dewy Glaze in shade Golden Glow. I never apply such products directly on face, so I'm gonna grab a little bit on my hand and we are gonna apply it using a brush. But please remove such applicators because you do have so much product inside. So I've turned the packaging and I still have quite a lot of product inside. So yeah, better to remove it. Plus hygiene, girls hygiene, grabbing a brush. Time to take a little bit of product and gonna apply it directly here. It's a good choice for daily looks. If you prefer something extremely bright, maybe you wouldn't like it, but for daily looks, it looks quite nice. Moreover, it doesn't have a visible base, so this shade should work almost in all the cases. It doesn't dissolve a foundation and looks quite beautiful, and we can try to apply the product using a finger, and in this case it appears slightly brighter. Cherry Bake Loose Baking Powder, and take a look. It's so cute. It's so small and it's so cute. But we are gonna apply the product using a brush for sure, because I prefer a thinner layer of the powder, because in this case it looks beautiful and it looks better, and in this case your face doesn't look cakey. As soon as you apply a lot, yeah, your face may appear as cakey actually. And by the way, we have a kind of a cup here and we can close the product, but yeah, a slight problem but no problem. By the way, it's slightly glowy, and actually I'm gonna use this powder in the under eye area, and it should be quite good. The texture is extremely thin and it's not visible on skin at all, so with and without. And as well, probably I will apply it right here. In other places, I will probably apply another one. You can definitely layer this product and it should look fine. If you thought that we have only one blush and one highlighter to try, you were wrong. We have two more products to try, and we are gonna start from the blush, and I'm gonna apply it using this beautiful brush. The shade itself is quite bright and pink, and actually it's more cold, I'm gonna say it this way. And it has as well a slightly white base, so it shouldn't and it can't really work in all the cases. Grabbing a little bit, taking off some extra and applying it right here. By the way, take a look on our cream blush. It simply disappeared as soon as I've applied a powder. It's not that pigmented, plus the shade itself is too pale, too white. This product looks slightly better in my case, but it's a good choice in case of cold undertone. So in case of cold undertone, it should be extremely, extremely beautiful and cool. Blending everything, and definitely I'm gonna apply a little bit more of our cream bronzer, but a small tip. If we talk about cream product, it's far better to apply them directly on your foundation, because as soon as you try apply them on a powder, over a powder, you may have some issues, your products may stuck, and at some point it is expected. If you wanna apply a cream bronzer over a powder, be extremely careful and just simply pat it and don't drag it like this, otherwise you may have some problems, some issues. Time for a highlighter. Grabbing a little bit. It seems like it's a duochrome, but actually I'm gonna say that the main shade here is champagne. In the packaging it appears as something between gold and pink, but in real life, on face, it seems more golden champagne. This highlighter is definitely bright. So this guy for daily looks, this guy for an event. Before we start our eye makeup, I'm gonna apply a new lip balm in shade Latte on my lips, and you know, it smells so delicious. It reminds me chocolate, but it might be chocolate plus coffee. Oh, yes, yes. And the texture itself is quite nice. Yeah. Feels nicely. The texture is quite thin. It seems quite nourishing. It's not sticky. Absolutely. The shade itself is not that super visible because pigmentation is quite low. And it seems it has flavor, at least a little bit, but it's quite nice. Same thing as for the scent, it reminds me a bit of chocolate and coffee. Finally, it's time for eye makeup, and I have this beautiful palette to try. Yes, it's a limited edition, but it's still available everywhere. And actually, it should be quite nice because we have so many toppers here. And actually, we are gonna do smoky eyes. Why not? And as a base, I'm gonna use a gel-based eyeliner, and it's quite required to blend this product as soon as you apply it. And probably I'm gonna use a mix of these two shades on my eyelid, and maybe I will add a little bit of purple, but I'm not quite sure. As main matte eyeshadow, we are gonna have this shade. It's beautiful, and the shade itself is quite nice, and actually it's a mix of brown plus pink and has a little bit of gray, and the shade is extremely gorgeous, I would say. I'm not quite sure whether we are gonna try this shade and these two. I'm not quite sure about it, but still, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna start from an eyeliner. I don't have anything on my lip except of a concealer, and now it's time to try. To start, sorry. Starting from the inner corner, applying a little bit, just a little bit, and blend. And do the same thing till the end, till the outer corner. I'm gonna do the same thing with my lower lid, but this time I'm starting from the outer corner, blending. Where is my, yeah, found it. Blending. And for sure, don't forget to blend right here as well. Time to add a crease color. Grabbing my matte shade, and actually we have only one in this palette, and I'm gonna start from the crease. And what's left on my brush, gonna blend in different areas. Now it's time to apply a topper, and I'm gonna mix these two shades and gonna apply them on the eyelid, starting from the center and applying in all directions. Just look how beautiful it is, and you can keep it as it is, but I wanna add a little bit of purple. Same thing, grabbing a little bit and gonna apply directly in the center, and using another finger to simply blend everything out. In the inner corner I will add this shade, so grabbing a little bit, and as well I'm gonna add it on the lower lid right here. And I need to blend it here slightly. Possible to add? No. I've decided to do it differently right now. Grabbing a little bit of a highlighter, and I will add this highlighter right here slightly. Now I'm gonna add essence in shade 5, Very Berry, near the lash line, and I'm gonna add it in the waterline as well, and gonna blend it slightly as well. I'm more or less done with my eye makeup, only lashes are left, and actually I'm gonna do it in the background. Now we're back to the lips, and our lip balm is quite nice. I still feel that it's quite nourishing, and I don't feel dryness. So probably, at least in my case, I'm gonna say yes. And we have a lipstick to try in shade Queen Pink, and I don't really like the shade itself, because on swatches, at least on their website, the shade looks quite different in real life. It's extremely light, and pigmentation is rich. You have to layer this product. And actually I need to do a combo, because I can't really leave this lipstick as it is, because right now it looks horrible, let's be honest. So the texture itself is quite questionable as well, because take a look, it's slightly patchy. So I'm not quite sure that I'm impressed. Okay, I'm gonna finish my eye makeup look, gonna show it to you extremely closely, and we'll finish with the lips, and we are gonna discuss everything. our final look, and let me tell you what I've used today on my lips. As a lip liner, I've applied the product from Catrice, shade 150. And I do suggest buying this particular shade because it's extremely amazing. It's a combo of pink and brown, and the shade itself is quite neutral, so should be good almost for everyone. And by the way, just take a look. It seems like I will have to buy a new lip liner quite soon. Really beautiful shade, and I definitely enjoy using it. And in the center, I've applied our lipstick, and as a part of this combo, this lipstick looks quite fine. And actually, I like this particular combo. And now it's time to discuss everything. And by the way, this shade is not really mine, and it's not really about the shade itself, it's more about an undertone, I would say. It contains a little bit of pink, and in my particular case, it's slightly a lot, and my face appears as slightly red, while actually I have more olive, I would say warm olive undertone. So unfortunately not my shade, but the texture and the product itself is extremely beautiful. I have to take off the swatch. So now we are going to discuss everything, and we are going to start from bright light. And I like this product, but I do have some questions to it. And well, I have only one. Why do they have not so many shades? And due to this, you can't really use this particular product as a low coverage foundation, just simply because it's not that easy to catch your shade, and it's not that easy to find an exact match, because I couldn't really order the first shade because it was extremely light plus pink, and this shade is dark for me. So I'm so sorry, we need more shades. But the product itself is quite nice. It's dewy, so it's a good choice in case of dry skin. It doesn't emphasize anything. It looks extremely beautiful on skin, and it's a beautiful product in overall, and it's quite easy to work with it. It's quite easy to layer it. Pigmentation coverage, I would say, is extremely low, and if you need something familiar, you can take a product from Catrice or Elf. And shade range here is far better. You can definitely choose and find more or less appropriate shade. But here it's slightly problematic, but the product itself is quite nice. Our lovely foundation, I like it. It's easy to work with it. It looks beautiful on skin. It's not that visible. It doesn't emphasize skin texture. It doesn't look cakey on skin. It's a good choice in case of dry prone skin and normal skin. Finish is more dewy, and if you do a combo, well, the combo better to use in case of dry prone skin. As soon as your skin is oily, it's definitely not your choice. The product itself, by the way, is quite long lasting, and you can definitely layer it. The coverage is around average. You can probably try to layer it slightly, and you may receive slightly higher coverage, but it wouldn't be full coverage. The product itself is quite nice, and by the way, it blurs the pores slightly and doesn't emphasize dry patches if you have any. My favorite product, it's amazing, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it's extremely easy to work with this bronzer. It's easy to apply it, it's easy to layer it, it's easy to blend it. Actually, I've applied this product over a makeup powder, and I didn't have any issues. I didn't have any problems. It's easy to blend it. It looks extremely beautiful on skin, and the color itself is quite nice. Gosh. Slightly a small issue. Sorry. had to remove the consequences. Unfortunately, otherwise, I could have a bit more consequences. Okay, moving on. The shade itself is also quite nice. It's quite neutral. It contains a little bit of red, a little bit of orange, and a little bit of olive. The shade itself is quite beautiful, and if you need something familiar, I mean, from the texture point of view, you can try a product from Catrice and NARS. But, if we talk about Catrice, as soon as you don't really use it, the top layer may slightly dries out, and you have to be really careful. Here, no questions, no issues, and by the way, this product stains slightly, so it should be more or less long-lasting, but in case of oily prone skin, better to use a powder over it. Yes, better to use it. And what I wanted to say as well, the packaging. I don't really like the packaging because it looks quite cheap, and it seems like in several months you may have a problem with it. But it happens. It's a quite affordable makeup brand, so at some point it is expected. Our next product for today is gonna be a mousse blush in shade Soft Pink. I like the texture. It's extremely soft and creamy. It's easy to work with it. It's easy to blend it. Pigmentation is low, but I don't really like the shade, and it simply doesn't work in my case. If you have extremely pale skin, it's definitely your choice because the shade itself contains something white as a base. And by the way, this product is slightly dewy, and actually it looks beautiful on skin, but as soon as you apply a powder over it, in my case, the shade disappeared. Just simply completely disappeared. In overall, I like the texture, but I don't really like the shade. Would work only in case of extremely pale skin, but it's easy to blend it. Now it's time to talk about this beauty, and it's a serum highlighter. If you prefer something for daily looks, I mean, if you prefer a highlighter which is not extremely bright, it's your choice. It's easy to blend it, it's easy to apply it, and it looks beautiful on skin. It doesn't have a visible base, so it should work. The shade would work in almost all the cases. The shade itself is more on champagne side, I would say, and looks quite beautiful. Doesn't emphasize skin texture at all, but it's mainly for daily looks. For something extremely glam and for an event, it might be not enough in some cases. Actually, it depends on your preferences. Now it's time for this beautiful powder. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. And if you've seen, Catrice has released this beautiful powder, and if we compare these two, they are quite familiar. The textures are thin. Both products are not visible on skin, and the shades are quite familiar as well. But the product from Catrice has a little bit more, no, not this way. It's slightly more shiny, I would say. This product is beautiful, and this product is beautiful as well. But I don't suggest using it in order to mattify your face. It's more a product in the under eye area. In overall, nice product to try. It looks beautiful, and by the way, it blurs at the pores as well. And now it's time to discuss these two beautiful products. They are good. They are good, but I don't like the packaging. It's exactly the same packaging, exactly the same. And in order to open it, well, right now I was able to open it without any problems. But here, you have to be extremely strong in order to open such packagings. And or you can do a hack. I'm not quite sure that I will be able to find. Where is it? Okay, found it. Something like this. Put it inside and turn. And in this case, you wouldn't have any issues with opening the packages. Otherwise, you might be in troubles. Talking about the blush, this blush is visible, finally visible on my skin, but as well, it has a little bit of white inside, and due to this, it's better to use this shade in case of cold undertone, maybe neutral. If you more warm, probably it's not your choice. It still would work quite nicely and it seems quite nice on skin, but better to use this shade in case of cold and neutral undertones. It's easy to apply it, it's easy to blend it, it's not dusty at all, and pigmentation is around average. If you need to layer, you can layer it, and it's easy to layer this product. Or if you don't want to do it, no questions, everything is gonna be fine. The product itself is quite nice. And this beautiful highlighter. If you prefer something for daily looks, choose this one. If you prefer something extremely bright, this beauty. The highlighter itself is quite nice. It's not dusty, it's easy to apply it, it's easy to layer it, and it doesn't really emphasize skin texture, but it may as soon as you apply a lot of it, and it doesn't really have a visible base. The shade itself, at least in my case, appears more champagne. Yes, it has a little bit of pink, but it's not that visible, I would say. It's visible, but not that much. And the texture itself is quite nice. It might be a little bit dry in some cases, but still, it's easy to work with this texture and it's easy to blend this highlighter. So actually, I like it. Eye makeup. And today we've tried only one product. And actually, it's a nice palette, but I deeply, deeply hate the packaging. Again, better to use same trick in order to open it. So I'm sorry, but come on. Come on. It shouldn't work this way. Now about the product inside. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And the shimmers here are amazing. You have four toppers, and they are extremely creamy and gorgeous. They shine so nicely and they look so beautiful on eyelid. They don't emphasize texture at all, so I'm extremely impressed. These two shades are not exactly the same as these ones, but still you may apply them as a topper, and they look beautiful. They don't really have all these three shades. They don't really have a visible base, so better to apply them on something, or if you wanna just simply several glitters on your eyelid, okay, you can apply it directly. As well, we have a metallic here, but it's a kind of a simple metallic which has a base, and you can use actually this shade as a base, and on top of it you can apply any toppers from the palette. As well, we have only one matte shade and it's gorgeous. It's easy to work with it. Pigmentation is average. It's extremely, extremely creamy. It's not dusty at all. It's easy to apply it. It's easy to blend it. And the shade itself is amazing because it's extremely neutral. It's a mix of brown, pink, and actually it has a little bit of gray, but it's not that super visible. And our last shade for today is a duochrome at some point. It looks quite nice, but it's not that super shiny and super bright, but it might be used in the inner corner and it should work nicely. I'm impressed. If you wanna, or if you need a palette with toppers, it's a good choice. You have a crease shade and you can apply any toppers on your eyelid, take a mascara, and everything is gonna be fine. Impressed, beautiful palette. And 2 other products are left, and we are gonna start from a lip balm. Yes, a beautiful lip balm. It smells nicely, it smells quite delicious, and you don't feel dryness in 20 to 30 minutes. Your lips are nourishing, and the product itself looks beautiful on lips. And it reminds me a kind of a lip gloss, and it might be used as a lip gloss. Looks beautiful, pigmentation is quite low, and at some point it is expected because it's a lip balm. And yes, for sure, I'm gonna say yes to this product. Lipstick. No, not really. I like the combo I have today on my lips. And if you apply this lipstick as a part of a combo, it looks beautiful. But if you wanna apply it itself, I don't like the texture. Yes, it's creamy. Yes, it's comfortable to wear it, but it's so patchy at some point as soon as you apply it. So I don't know how they did it this way, but it seems like pigmentation is quite low, and you have to layer this product, and actually better just simply to apply it over a lip liner, and in this case this product would appear as pigmented. If you apply it as it is, it doesn't. So no, no. I'm gonna say no, but okay, it depends. It depends how you're gonna wear it. So it's up to you. It's up to you to decide. And the product itself is not long lasting. And by the way, it may appear as a line. Oh, by the way, it's already visible. Line. There is a line right here. So you should decide whether you need it or not. And it was our last product for today. So let's take a look how this beauty behaves. Hey, I have my makeup on around 8 hours already, and now it's time to check everything out. And actually, everything looks gorgeous and beautiful. Just take a look. Everything is still on. Perfect. The foundation is amazing. So actually, I don't have any questions. Eye makeup. Well, it's not that good, but at the same time, it's not that bad. Okay, looks more or less fine. Let me know down below what do you think about the products we've tried today, and have you tried them already or not? And if you don't know what to write, just simply write an algorithm or just leave several emojis, and it would help the channel a lot. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if yes, please don't forget to put a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. I wish you a pleasant day and hope to see you soon in the next video. See you soon!